architecture?
Oh. Boy, I'm not really sure how to answer it, just because in our world we already had all of these other things as shared services essentially. I mean, every year they get more and more mature and better, but when I started even, there was a very clear FileNet is the retention system for retaining documents long-term and legal records holds and all that. There was no need for me to be in those decision-making processes. So this is a case where you might want to talk to somebody, if not in U.S. Bank, but in other organizations that's maybe a bit higher in the technology stack than I am.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. So so your group specifically is only shared services. So were there any other stakeholders across the bank who were involved in this idea of building out a new signature shared service?
It was pretty well contained. I mean, on the technology side, it was very well contained to our area, and that made it nice. But we had to partner with a lot of business lines to make sure we aren't painting ourselves into a corner. Because there was tons of business lines, of course. In the beginning, only the one, but.
Okay, and another question here. So how are you going to manage those, the service upgrades?
Yes, this is one we're thinking about a lot right now, because as we put eSign Live 6.x in, I think this coming November, we want to make absolute sure that as you guys release yours every, whatever it ends up being, 6 months, 9 months, whatever the enterprise release, if you will, that we can get that in place quickly and efficiently, and not burden ourselves with having developed something that's going to be an entire new $400,000 project just to upgrade to your latest 6.2 or 6.3 or whatever the case may be. And so I could answer this on all kinds of levels. I guess what level are you at when you're asking this? How do we manage it? Are you talking from a decision-making process? Are you meaning on the low level? What are we going to do to make sure we can upgrade?
More of a decision-making process, more of a higher level.
Yeah, so what we're planning on right now, and again, this is where we're kind of getting into the future talk rather than what we've already done, is something along the lines of having our network of our business lines we've either worked with to see about new opportunities or are currently being used by, right? And treating them almost like our own internal customers. And so just like you guys will send out updates about new products, right, what's coming up in the new monthly release or whatever, we're going to start doing a similar thing here. We're going to take advantage of U.S. Bank's cross-company communications website to put out bulletins, put out articles, even promotional bits. We're working on one right now to put in. So in the case of application and service upgrades, our big goal is we want to make sure that our business lines understand that this is a living product, and that this will improve over time, and that their feedback is welcome, and to make it a much more collaborative experience than just, oh, do you have $1 million? Great, let's integrate with you, and then that's that for 5 years.
That makes sense. And just for banks who have not yet embarked on this path, if you look beyond, I guess, you have a shared services team and such. If they're looking at trying to get buy-in for this idea of a shared service, both I guess at the technical and the business level, who should really be involved in making that case?
Honestly, if it isn't at the CTO level and down, I just don't see how it could work. And that might be U.S. Bank speaking there too, but more than my own personal thing. But here, looking at this place, nothing happens unless decision makers in much higher positions know about it. And I don't know how much you know about U.S. Bank's structure. We are an exceptionally hierarchical organization. I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but I mean, I think there's 12 layers or something between us and the CEO. And it makes it very difficult. But in the case of business lines, they have a lot more flexibility here. Shared services is more on the technology side. So in our case, it's we have the CTO, but then underneath that we have infrastructure, development, and a couple other divisions. Well, the head of the development area needs to be involved in that. I used to think we could do it more internally, but no.
And in terms of, in your own particular case, in terms of the funding to set up e-signatures as a shared service, did someone have to go and make a business case, or was that just a natural progression of your whole journey with e-signatures?
I think it has been a natural progression, and I think that might be part of the reason that there's been a few years of a lull in making headway there, because we see it on the lowest levels when business lines are coming at us from all these angles. We see that we really need something like that. But until we get that communicated up to the true decision makers, it's really not possible.